friends, Judy here with the Latitude Group, and today I'm in the Sugar House neighborhood just off of 21st South on Dallin Street. I'm at Capstone Title and Escrow, and today I'm going to meet with Victoria Williams. She's the operation manager here. Come on in. Alright, so we're here at Capstone Title and Escrow, and I'm here with Victoria Williams. She's the operations manager here, and she also has 2 certifications, licenses.
Yes, so I'm a licensed title and escrow officer, and there's 2 differences within the insurance department, but they both are essential to our business here.
Nice. And Victoria, tell us about Capstone Title and Escrow.
So we've been around since 2012 as Capstone Title and Escrow. Prior to that, we held a different name. We have over 50 years of experience within our company. We are locally owned, locally operated, and one thing you'll touch on that I think kind of is cool that distinguishes us is how much of a women's working force we have.
Nice. And what is your background here?
So my background here, well, I never had been involved in real estate until I started with this company. But I was lucky enough to meet the owners of Capstone Title from another company that I worked for in the neighborhood, and then eventually they recruited me to come work here. This is very customer service driven. So apparently my customer service skills from the other business I worked for must have shined through, and that's how I ended up being here.
Nice.
And I've started as a receptionist for this company and worked my way to where I am now.
Oh wow! So you started at just greeting people.
Yeah.
And you worked your way into this. What influenced that? Did you just?
Well, Dan Simpson, who's a big part of this company and one of the owners, actually is what influenced me getting into being more than a receptionist. But initially, he was who brought me onto the company. I started off, yes, as a receptionist, so greeting clients, setting them up in our conference room for closings, and answering phones and doing other admin work. And through that time, I studied to get my escrow license, and then eventually I ended up getting my title license. And he gave me the option. He said, you know, if you want to do escrow, you can. And then it kind of became like, well, 6 months later, like, why aren't you gonna do it, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, and a little bit of push from him, like, doesn't it just make sense for you to want to do that? So, yeah.
Nice. So why should people use a title company?
So title insurance is one of the biggest unknown insurances, and why not? You are protecting probably the biggest investment that most people make in their entire lives. Not everybody gets the opportunity to buy multiple homes, but a lot of people sometimes do. And so title insurance protects you against any encumbrances that come up on a property, and you being a buyer and a seller or any parties to a transaction. I personally would always want to do it. It's like buying a car and not getting insurance on your car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to protect that investment, especially because it is thousands, sometimes millions of dollars.
Right. Yeah. So this title and escrow company is located right in the neighborhood in Sugar House, just right off of 21st South. What is it like working in the neighborhood?
It's nice because you get to break it up from being a part of the city, but you're still close enough to Sugar House area. And it kind of takes people back by surprise, which I enjoy because we're our own little hidden gem. So many people come into the neighborhood and they're like, I had no idea this was here. Or they've lived in this neighborhood for X amount of years and they come in for their first closing with us and they're like, I didn't know you guys were walking distance from me. I honestly had some people I closed probably like 3 weeks ago who even said that. They were like, I could have just walked up here and didn't realize you guys were that close. So
that is nice. I can see them over there. You have 2 of the cutest, friendliest greeters here. Did they take your job?
No. They're the ones who gave me my job. And Rosie's the boss, she's in charge, and the goal every single day is to get in good with her because then I can pretty much guarantee I'm set here. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So Rosie and Winston, and are they both golden retrievers?
No, so Winston's a golden retriever, he's 3, and then Rosie's a labradoodle, and she's almost 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
pretty cute dogs. They are very friendly, and they like to come in and hang out and participate in the closings.
Yeah, Rosie tends to be the one who hangs out the most in closings, so I feel like if I do an exceptional job, that's when she stays the longest.
Oh, okay.
So
you can rate how your transaction's going by how long she
exactly.
stays. And Victoria, what sets you apart here at Capstone from other title companies? What?
So with us, we're, again, like I said, locally owned, locally operated. Our experience is over 50 years, I think. So our experience, the fact that we truly are locally grown is another thing. Our women's workforce, I mean, one of the owners of our company is a woman who's the president of our company, who's in here day in and day out as well. And we pay attention to the detail of the customer service aspect of it, which I think is so important because, again, you're making a massive investment. It's like going to the Mercedes-Benz dealership, wanting to buy the nicest vehicle and getting terrible customer service. It's left the worst taste in your mouth at that point in time, and you don't want to do that. So we, I think, really strive to give people a different experience that's one of a kind here versus any other title company.
It's a beautiful office. Thank you. So there's that. So you mentioned that the president of the company is a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it like to work at a company that's so led by a woman?
It's really fascinating in the sense of you get to look at her and see she has a family, like she has kids, and she's built such a strong brand and a business, and there's other women within our company who've been a part of the industry for a long time and see the brand that they've built as well. I'd say fascinating things, like one of the biggest things that make it here is to know that you could follow in those kind of footsteps and have amazing success and growth, and to walk down the hall for me every single day and be like, hey, tell me how you feel about this, what do you like about that? And also be able to genuinely connect in that different sense. I feel like sometimes women know how to connect with each other differently in the sense of like that motherly moment or that like, hey, you are a boss, you can do this sense. So
nice. So we just recently went through the pandemic, and well, I guess we're still going through the pandemic, kind of. But how did the COVID-19 affect your business? Because I know that as a realtor, we still had transactions closing.
right.
And I'm curious, how did things happen here for you guys?
So we have been blessed enough to be considered still an essential business as within yourself, and for us it's been just daily changes and making sure we're doing everything to make everybody feel safe. And so one of my biggest changes has been not shaking hands. I'm like a massive handshaker, so that's been really hard to deal with, but everything else I feel like we've really just gone straightforward with it, and we've been like, okay, what are we going to do to help our clients feel safest? What are we going to do to help our team feel safe as well? And what it is we're implementing. So I mean, daily we're wiping down our conference rooms after every single closing. We're wiping down our pens or even using disposable pens. I mean, we try and be as green as we can. So a lot of the times we're using safe chemicals and safe products, but still wiping everything down, keeping our distance to 6 feet as much as we can, giving our clients the option too, if they're wearing masks, do they prefer that we wear a mask? Leaving it up to them. We talk a lot, and as you're experiencing, I talk a lot right now in general. So that's why we kind of leave those things up to them, but really giving them the discretion to feel safe and feel welcome here, and offering to sometimes mobile notaries or e-notaries or things like that to adjust to the market.
Nice. A mobile notary, what does that look like?
So mobile notary, generally in my experience, what I do is I set up a time that works for my clients and where it is that they want to have their closing at. Some people want them to meet them at their business because they're still in their business. Sometimes people want them to meet in their home. So we just make arrangements for a notary public to meet those people at their designated spot, and then we get them their closing documents, whether we FedEx them, whether we email them and they print them off, or whether or not the notary arrives with them. So,
and then they just sign it there?
And then they just sign in front of the notary, and then the notary gets them back to us, or our client gets them back to us from there. But a lot of the times I know we've also done it where we will sometimes go to people's homes, us personally, depending on the transaction, depending on what they're requesting, and makes them feel the most comfortable. So
Nice. Sounds really good. Really convenient for people who really don't feel safe going out.
yeah.
Like if they're immunocompromised or something. Well, it was really nice to meet you.
You as well.
And I appreciate you having us over to find out more about Capstone Title and Escrow.
Yeah.
And did you were going to tell me was it the difference between escrow and title?
Yeah, so within escrow, it's not often that you have escrow officers who also hold a title license as well. So myself and the VP of our company, we both have title licenses along with our escrow licenses, and they just distinguish how it is we can conduct business. That being that within escrow, it makes it capable for us to conduct a transaction. So you bring your sellers in, for instance, and we go through and we close them and we disperse the funds and record the documents, and then that's within the escrow aspect of everything. The title aspect makes it so that we can really go through and examine a property and determine, what it is encumbering it, so we know what to work on getting payoff information on or what's going to run with the property, and finalizing everything out from there within the final transaction with the final policy being issued and things like that. So with title, it's different, and our VP is like a huge contributing factor to my knowledge and me feeling comfortable working on title, but it's not often that you get people who are willing to have both of those.
Right. So you can take one transaction and you can take care of everything, so you know everything about it.
I could go from point A to point Z, really. I feel like within title and escrow you have a whole alphabet that you're going through.
Right.
So I could, but luckily we have an amazing team who supports me through all of that process. And I got my title license so I could feel more knowledgeable, and I wasn't always having to call my VP as I was a newer escrow officer and say, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do on this? What am I supposed to do on this? Or step in and help him whenever he needs it. If he needs me to go through and examine a property to make sure that we are putting the right things on our commitment to insure or whatever it may be. So
Nice. Sounds fun. It's investigation.
It is.
Yeah.
It is investigation.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it's nice to know that you're really taken care of as well. As a client, you can feel confident that you've been really well taken care of.
Well, we sure hope so.
Yeah.
That's our goal at the end of the day. So
Yeah. Well, again, I appreciate you having us here. And if you have any title or escrow needs, you can come into Capstone just right off of 21st South. And is it Dallin Street?
down. Yeah.
Okay. Yep, or you can go online, www.capstonetitleutah.com. You can also call 801-466-7681. And yeah, you can come in and see Victoria. I'm sure she's busy, but
Never
Rosie
too
and
busy.
Winston would be here to
Yes.
say hello as soon as you walked in the door.
We've got a whole team here. So